Yes, technology. Yes, it goes. Being a musician today and technology is like this. When I started music, it wasn't like that. But now you have to be good at the basics of recording at home,
Mm.
also promoting yourself because you have to get it started. And even if you hire somebody later, as I said, you want to have basic knowledge to be able to know what you want and if it's worth or not. So you have to know about all those things, and sometimes it's overwhelming, but it
Mm.
is it is possible if you put a little effort. I never thought I would learn how to record at home when I
Mm.
moved here, but computers are getting better and better, and programs are getting easier, and it's okay. We just have to keep on learning always.
Mm.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, and
It's
that's
not a
why
way.
certain recording studios are being shut down because people are just learning how to do it themselves. They can't
Yeah.
afford hundreds or thousands of dollars to make an album. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah.
in one way that's great that people have access to be creative and make their own
Mm-hmm.
music. You know,
Mm-hmm.
in between albums, you were releasing singles, and you write all kinds of music, from Latin to even different parts of Latin America, like Portuguese. And so many languages. And earlier you mentioned you were influenced by Argentinian rock. So can you kind of talk about some of your influences?
Well, it's strange with the rock and pop because even though I listen to it a lot, I don't write many pop or rock songs.
Mm-hmm.
I gravitate more towards jazz and Brazilian and tango and boleros and ballads. So yeah, the first album was a crazy mixture, because I was coming from Europe, where I was performing tango and Latin jazz music, and I was living in Huntington Beach, Surf City.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine the contrast from coming from an old city in the middle of Europe to a surf city in the USA? Uh, Completely different environment, vibe, culture, weather, everything. So two of my songs there, one talks about surf, one talks about skating. Then I have a tango milonga, which is a traditional style of tango. It's such a crazy mixture. I think I was trying to figure out myself, my identity, trying to compose music with all
Mm.
this chaos that I had in my life, and trying to make sense of all these things. And then I collaborated with a producer, guitar player in Argentina, Juan Pablo Lasso, and two of the songs there are from him. So they are very Argentinian folk, contemporary folk music embedded. And so that was Perlas, yes. And then the Charismatic, I recorded here with jazz musicians and well, yeah, because they are more like jazz, but they play everything. Ron Kobayashi, Isaac Sanchez. So there is more jazz influence in that one, and a little bit pop and funk.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You must have had so many students. I mean, how many students have you had over your many years of teaching? Would you say like
Oh, I cannot
50
count
or?
them. Oh no, my goodness. I don't know how many hundreds.
Oh,
I
wow.
started I started to teach in Europe, actually, when
Oh,
I was
yeah.
in music school, and well, in the last years of music school, and so it's been like 18 years teaching.
Yeah. That's
So I
amazing.
had a lot of students, and students mostly sing completely different styles from what I sing. So it is a challenge, but at the same time, it's interesting because I am exposed to all this music that I wouldn't necessarily be listening in detail and trying to understand their
Mm-hmm.
vocal styles. So It is interesting. It's a trip, actually.
Yeah, it's definitely been fun for me to be a student again. It doesn't matter how many more shows I play on a professional level. It's always
Hmm.
good to just go back, and at least my focus. I've told you you know, off camera before during our lesson that like my focus is to
Hmm.
sing as safe as I can and
Hmm.
maintain my voice, because I've noticed um even if you weren't a singer,
Yeah.
voices do change as people get older, but
Yeah.
also like, man, when you don't take care of it, when you're
Hmm.
taking substances or
Yeah.
smoking or anything
Oh,
else, or just
yes.
not being healthy, like I've heard some people who had
Hmm.
beautiful voices and their voices are completely shot later in life,
Hmm.
like they
Oh,
just can't,
yes.
and they just,
Yes.
yeah. And
Or
so
drinking, or smoking weed. All those things can leave a scar in your voice, and you never recover
mm,
from it.
oh yeah.
Um,
And well, it, and I thought it was so wonderful to hear that you
mhm.
are taking lessons again, even at your level of expertise. And so what can you
Oh,
share
yes.
about,
Oh,
you know, what
yes.
it's like being a student again?
Oh, I am so thrilled. It's like that's one of the highlights of my week is having my lesson and learning from people that know more than me, or they know, at least they know more in certain aspects, and they are also able to see my blind spots,
Mm,
things that I don't truly realize in the moment, like certain micro tensions here or there. And
mm,
it's really interesting learning. I've been studying a lot the human body in the last year, all the different
mm,
parts of all the muscles that are that have a part in the inhalation, the muscles that have a part in the exhalation, and this movement or this exercise that can open up this or that. And um, it is fun. It is great. Yes. So the lessons I'm taking and the methods I'm studying, they are more focused in technique, vocal technique.
mm-hmm,
Um, I am not studying music or how to sing a song. It's mostly like trying to develop more consciousness of every part that I'm using. The jaw, the positions of the tongue, how they can impact the resonance and create different resonance.
mm.
All those things are super interesting, and it never ends.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's always good to
Yeah.
be a lifelong learner and not
Mhm.
be static and too comfortable with yourself. So that's quite, you know, humble of you. So
No, it's
um yeah, I mean, what would, you know, you like our people in our audience to know um about music and professionalism? Like, for example, what
Mhm.
I've learned is that,
Mhm.
okay, many opinions um, about my band's music or my
Mhm.
songs or whatever, people always have opinions about it, and
Yeah.
you know, you can't please the whole world. And so at the end
Mm-mm.
of the day, I'm the one that has to go to bed and live with whatever I've created.
Mhm.
You know, nowadays, especially, it's, you know, with Abe, we have to live with what we've made.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's just kind of like sticking to your guns. What is there any other kind of
Yeah.
drops of wisdom, not necessarily industry wise, but you know, just about
Things that,
music and
yeah,
artistry?
artistry. Yes, of course. Well, I can think off the top of my head an advice to singers, especially singers that are studying their voices or going to music school. And so the study of the voice and the technical part of learning a song, and or playing the song and singing it, it's it can never be finished. I mean, there's always little things we can be practicing or perfecting. But we have to be smart and also take a break from that and connect with the emotion of the song, the energy, the audience, the band. So I learned from that because I used to go to stage and still be nervous about, am I gonna sing that higher note like I wanted, or this or that, or that has to be gone in the moment you're performing. You need to drop to the present moment and say, okay, it's okay if it's not perfect, because it's live music. It's live music. I don't want an auto tune there all the time. It's okay if I have to trust now. I have to, and I encourage singers to do that, to take a deep breath, trust what they can do, and connect with the basic emotion of that song, which could be an emotion or it could be the energy. Oh, I want to be bubbly and energetic, and connect with the band, and just be forgiving. That's hard for me because I'm a perfectionist, so I beat myself up all the time. But we have to try to be forgiving and allow ourselves to do mistakes.
Yeah, you touched upon like so many things right there. And that well, perfectionist, that's like a whole other podcast we can have another day. But like it's so easy to be so stuck in your head about like, am I hitting the right note? Am I projecting? Am I impressing someone important in the audience?
Oh, yes,
and
I had that too.
And so
someone is there. No.
Yeah, it's like, oh, someone's important from blah blah blah. He's here, and then and then when you get in that type of mindset, you lose the heart of what the song's about. You
lose a lot of things because your nervous system is already in alert mode. You're not trusting, relaxing into the music.
Yeah.
So it has also technically, it can be hindering because getting back into the breath, into trusting what you can do, it's something we have to keep on practicing.
No, yeah, that's great advice. And for anyone who's listening, please check out Laura's article in World Musician Press, where she goes and gives a deep dive about the importance of the brain and what an artist does in their struggle with perfectionism. Yeah, speaking of other things that you've come out with, what are you working on or what's coming out?
The first thing coming up is my video clip for a new song, Veranito. It's a single that came out in digital platforms 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And we put together we shot this video clip half in Buenos Aires and half here. So I have my team in Buenos Aires that I've been growing and nurturing in the last years. So they shot their parts, and then I shot here in Huntington Beach, the rest. And we are releasing it 26th of February, Friday, 26th. Premiere in YouTube. So it's going to be very fun. It's a funny story. Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, no, your videos are great and very professional and
thank you.
And very beautiful. There's always like a beautiful look to them. And so it's the 16th now. This podcast is going to launch in like mid-March, but for anyone who's tuning in,
it's gonna be there in YouTube.
It should be there. Yes. It should still be there.
Yes.